Hey guys, my name is Thibaut. Today is the 17th day of fasting, or the end. Yeah, it's almost midnight actually. Yep, caught to the end of the 17th day of fasting. No food, just water. And I'll be honest, today I had a bit of short day at work, but at the moment, all day, I was actually looking at a property in Watford. Well, just a place to rent, really. And the rent over there would be like three times as much as what I'm paying now. Which, in a way, it's not like I think I can't afford it. I can, but I'm kind of, again, I'm thinking of those. Let me put that on mute. There's that nervousness about making that leap of that move, because of course that would require me resigning my job. No, which of course, in the last few years, in terms of finding a new job, it's been very quick. I've been very blessed in that. But then again, there's always that hint of fear. That fear. I know we're not supposed to fear, but there's that anxiety there. And so I have to admit, the last few minutes, I've been seriously stressed. It's stressing me out. But I think moving ultimately will be for the best. It just means I have to keep a close eye on what I spend. Okay, something I was thinking earlier is, it's nearing up Christmas time, okay, or Xmas as I like to call it, or just Mus. I don't like to bring Christ into it. But yeah, I've over the last couple of years, when my church does Christmas carol service, I I don't like them necessarily, but I turn up to them anyway for the sake of fellowship. But I remember the last couple of years there'd be certain verses or passages in like those Christmas carols which really touched me, really got me thinking. Not because of anything to do with 25th of December or the birth. Well, it is something to do with the birth of Christ because it's associated with the 25th of December, even though he was not born on that date, nowhere near. But it got me thinking to how real and how much of an impact his birth had, not just in a spiritual sense, but even in a physical sense, even in an earthly sense. People would have witnessed strange things during that time when he was born. But not only that, and that's not a Bible study I'm going to do today, or it'll be a bit of a prolonged study. But a lot of what happened during the birth of Christ, the last time such things happened was before the fall of man. So that's how special and how incredible the birth of Christ was. Not just in spiritual sense, but the birth of our King and our Savior, because that's more spiritual, right? But also in an earthly sense. I mentioned about for one thing, I mentioned about that star a few days ago. For and that's of course a lot of what I say is not actually in the Bible, but it is documented by early church fathers and people who lived near the time. So the Bible doesn't always give every single detail about everything, but when the star of Bethlehem shone, the powers of Satan was essentially bounded. The witchcrafts couldn't do their spells, the sorcerers couldn't do their wizardry stuff. It stopped, and I believe, like I said last time, that is why the Magi's came to give gifts to Jesus, because they found someone more powerful than the spirit they were worshipping. Things a lot of Satanists, they believe he's the most powerful. He is God essentially. He's powerful. Um, until because a lot of them the way they get into it is because they really desire for power and they want more, and as soon as they find someone that is more powerful, then there's a paradigm shift. It's quite a big deal, and you will see some ex-Satanist testimonies about it when they realize that Satan is not all powerful, and if he's not all powerful, then who is? And once they start seeking, often that's where a lot of it ends up being a very powerful encounter with Christ. So something I've been thinking about 2 years. I've never really done it. I've never actually wrote it on paper or on a Microsoft document. Is just write it. I mean, it would slightly go beyond Bible, but a lot of it, some of it will go into like ancient Jewish traditions or their insight towards the fall of man, and or before the fall. I mean, the Bible does not talk a lot about before the fall. I mean, it'll be very different to not it won't even be comparable to the world we live in today. But we don't really think about that. We do get a glimpse in even Revelation. Like it says, there will be no night. There will be no night, no need for the sun, for God's presence will light the world. I don't believe there was any night time before the fall. Yes, the moon was already created, but it was not right. It was not needed until the actual fall. Same with the sun, but it's like of course God knew the fall was going to happen eventually, and it's like he always made a preparation for when something was to go wrong. There'll be a contingency plan, if you will, contingency, so that humans will be able to see during the day and a little bit during the night. Oh, I'm tired of this. I think I should write this, man. I always say this. There's so many things I should write down, make it more understandable. Because, dude, I've learnt so much over the last few years. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I have to say I'm quite stressed. Like the thing I'm desiring right now is comfort food. For some reason, at the moment, it's Domino's pizzas. Don't care how much I spend on it, I'd buy it. So yeah, I guess this is a countdown. Like really, it's a countdown. So in a few minutes, it's gonna be the 18th. So 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st. So 4 days, man. 4 days. 4 days of drinking this kind of stuff. I mean, I loved it. That's why I chose it. But honestly, the thing that I'm praying most about at the moment is provision, because and peace. And I mean, the thing is, the reason why I moved to Belfast is because that was like literally the only option. It was God provided. Like, but I mean, I was offered a house to live in a house, 3-bedroom house, rent free. I stayed there for about 7-8 months. Then I moved out to rent a place. Okay, and God provided a place with cheap rent in pretty much the centre of Belfast, which is what I paid for. I remember I was paying for it, something not too expensive. I didn't have a lot of money back then. I still don't actually. A lot of things were uncertain as well in terms of employment. Very uncertain. But yeah, I asked for a job place to live near the centre of Belfast for pretty good rates, and somehow I found it. I found a really cheap one, less than £200 a month. I mean, that's pretty cool. And it's still in the centre of Belfast. I mean, usually I looked around and it was at least probably £300-400, or more. So that was an answer to prayer. That's I hope God, oh, dude. But also because the reason why I wanted to be in the centre of Belfast is because I don't drive. I don't have a car. I don't really want one. I'm just not that into it really. I remember when I was 17, when everyone was like excited to pass their test and have a car because they were cool. I was like, yeah, I really don't care. I don't care about cars. I mean, I took my driver's lessons, but I never took the test. I really don't care. I know one day I need to do it because it might be necessary, but based on where I am at the moment, I really don't care. I mean, the good thing is I'm spending a lot less money during this time of fasting than I would otherwise, because I guess I do need to make a bit of savings for when I do move to Watford. I mean, yeah, I actually found another place, right, in a christianflatshare.com. But after looking at it, I contacted the landlord, but it was so cheap that my dad was suspicious, and I didn't think much of it at first until he asked for the deposit before he agreed for house viewing or flat viewing, and that is no, never do that. But yeah, so that's my day. Finished work early afternoon. I came home planning to maybe get a haircut or something, get my beard trimmed, but just ended up looking at flats all day. 4 more days, man. And the thing is, right, I'm craving like food and comfort food, but I'll be having soup, won't I? Soup. So until next time, I love you and God.